There we go. All right, welcome everybody to our 2025-2026 Biotech Infusion Workshop Series. Really glad to have you guys all here with me today. Um, and I'll start a little slideshow so you got something to look at. And share it with you. Share. There we go. And then move everything around because it moved everything. All right, so first off, can everybody see the screen? See the PowerPoint? Okay. Um, so welcome to Biotech Infusion. Like the flyer stated, we are going to show you guys some biotech labs and how you infuse those to your curriculum for whichever subject you teach. So we have a wide range here, and we will have you guys introduce yourselves in a little bit. But I and the master instructors will help you to make sure that you can fit at least one of these labs into the courses that you're teaching. So first off, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the staff. So I am Megan Heafy. I'm the director of the Biotech Teacher Training Initiative. I've been with Georgia Life Sciences since we were Georgia Bio in 2019. So we have had a name change, but we're doing all the same things, and the same educational opportunities are here for you guys. So before I worked for Georgia Life Sciences, I was a high school science teacher. I taught chemistry and biology in the metro Atlanta area at a couple of different schools. So I've been in y'all's boat, and I'm really happy to be able to support teachers now in my current role. Kennedy, are you available?
Yes.
All right, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, you guys. My name is Kennedy Duma. I'm a recent graduate of Moore High School of Medicine, and I just started working for Georgia Life Sciences in June, and I'm the new project coordinator.
Thanks, Kennedy. Hey, Anna. So we are your hosts. You are
No, it
welcome
went through, but
to.
I didn't know how to turn it on because this is a new iOS and I don't know how to operate this.
Well, you're good, Sunitha. Can I mute you for now?
Okay, so I did not get time to go in and grade it. Today I was planning.
All right. She's good. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me or Kennedy. And you have our emails from the multiple times I have emailed you. I've copied Kennedy on everything. So throughout this workshop, you'll be performing different hands-on science labs that you can then take to your students. And you'll hear from different life science professionals about careers that are available right here in the state of Georgia. Our goal is to help you inspire and prepare your students to give them an idea of what's available in the life sciences and how they can pursue it. We know that students can't aspire to careers that they have never heard of. And so we try to bring you guys as many careers as we can that are available here in life sciences. So your speakers will represent a wide range of different things that are available to help in the life science field. And there is nobody who is better to help them, kind of nudge them in the direction of pursuing it than you guys. You know their strengths. You know what they would be good at in a lab, or maybe they shouldn't be in a lab. Maybe they shouldn't be in front of patients. So you can kind of guide them into maybe a career that they haven't thought of before. So Georgia Life Sciences, my organization, I'll tell you guys more about it later, but we exist to work with the life science companies here in the state. And so my job is in workforce development and helping you guys. You represent that kind of first step of the workforce pipeline with the K-12. And then we work with groups all the way up until they are in the current workforce. Oh, I clicked 2 times. Could you guys take a moment to go in the chat and you can put in your name, how long you've been teaching, where you teach, and the subjects. And that way everybody else can, y'all can start to see where everybody is. We have a good group of Metro Atlanta teachers this year, but then we have a lot of y'all that are outside of the metro area, and we are happy to connect everybody from across the state. Welcome all. Give y'all a moment to do that. And make sure, Kennedy, do you have the waiting room open?
Yes, nobody's waiting there.
Okay, great. Yeah, I lost the tab for a moment. Yeah, and so our master instructors this year are Cynthia Greer and Trisha Peterson, and I will have them introduce themselves after our speaker. Awesome. And I see a lot of variety in our kind of years of experience here for teaching. So hopefully you guys can start networking with each other. That's been one of the best things about this is bringing you guys together across the state. So I know in some areas you don't get to talk to teachers that teach the same thing that you do very often. So we are happy to bring you guys together. Awesome. So welcome everybody. And I know I've heard from a couple people that you guys are on your way home or en route to your final destination. So you will join us on your camera when you get there. All right. Okay. So, um, you guys are in the Biotech Teacher Training Initiative. Biotech Infusion is a part of that. In any of our professional development that we do, we use these 5 prongs to help make things as well-rounded as possible. So we have you guys in this cohort. You're the 2025-2026 Biotech Infusion cohort. We will provide you with industry and career connections throughout. We're going to do some hands-on labs brought to you by our master instructors. And then the thing that sets us apart from most professional development is after the workshops, you can choose one lab from the training, and we will send you all of the equipment and supplies that you need to do that with one of your courses. So for example, if you teach 5 sections of biology, we will send enough for you to do that with all 5 sections of biology so that you can really take it and kind of slip it into your curriculum and not mess up your whole day, your whole schedule. So our expectations for the class, please try your hardest to attend and participate in all of the sessions. We know that there's a lot going on. It's fall. So if you end up missing one, just let us know as early as you can. And we, again, will have those recordings available so that you can catch up. And then just make sure you've turned in your deliverables and catch up with us live the next week. We will have an equipment scavenger hunt that I'll give you, I think week 3 is when I have it on the schedule, just to go around your school and see what's available there. See if there's something hiding in somebody's closet. We give you permission to do that. You will also, after the in-person, choose that lab to implement. And then we ask that you do that by about May 15th. Of next year. We will have sharing sessions to share your implementation. And that's a really good opportunity for you guys to bounce ideas off of each other about maybe what has already worked, So you can see if it's going to work for your students, or you can say, maybe I want to do that next year. We will have a survey that goes toward our program evaluation, and you have the option to participate in the focus group at the end for an additional $50 stipend. So we will talk more about those things as we get closer to them. Our schedule, as you guys saw on the registration, we are doing virtual sessions for the next 4 Tuesdays. And then we will be in person in January on the 23rd and 24th in Macon at Central Georgia Technical College. That's where we will do some more hands-on labs that involve some equipment that's not as easy to ship home to you guys. You can request that equipment to do your implementation lab, but I don't have 35 of everything to send out at the same time. I keep forgetting I'm clicking. Then we'll talk about the implementation, the focus group, and then we do have a final report that we ask that you do because we use that data to write our evaluation and submit it to the Department of Education, which is paying for this program. So today, we've already gone over kind of the welcome and expectations. We will have a speaker from industry, and we will do that together. We will come back after the speaker and we will go through the lab safety, the virtual lab safety link, and show you an online pipetting simulation as a group. And then we will get you guys broken up into your breakout sessions to work with your master instructors to complete the glow germ and the micropipetting lab. So, do you guys have any questions right now that I could answer for the whole group? Well, and I think you know how to find me. So if you have any questions, whenever you guys know, just pick up the phone and give me a call. Some of y'all have done that this week. And feel free to text me. That is my cell phone number that's on everything. So that's a pretty good way to find me throughout the day. I'm not always at my computer checking email. So I talked a little fast, but I think our speaker is already here. So I will go ahead and let her in. Yeah, and Cynthia's leaving sidebars for you guys. So Cynthia is currently teaching middle school, but she taught at the high school teaching the CTAE biotech pathway for how many years, Cynthia? A lot, yeah. And Cynthia is dressed as a minion today. So it was Spirit Day. She did not change for us. So Cynthia has millions of things to help you with biotechnology. So she's an amazing resource, as is Trisha. And I'm sure at some point you will see Trisha's husband, Mark. Mark also teaches biotech, and he's awesome. And the way you reach Mark is just take Trisha's email and switch the T to an M. They are both in Paulding County, right next door to each other at Paulding County High School. So, without further ado, we have made it to 4:30. I would like to go ahead and introduce Allison Crow, who works at the Johnson & Johnson Innovative Medicine facility in Athens. And I will let you take it from here. I will stop sharing so you can share.
Sounds good. Give me 1 second, guys, to share my screen, and I'll go ahead and get started. It's been a little while since I've used Zoom. So let's see. I think that's the one I want to share.
Oh, you're muted. I know it throws the whole thing away when you go to share.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
Here we go.
all right.
We're looking at the back end.
Okay, now let me see if I can. Okay, so I am sharing my screen. Perfect. Okay, let me share from the beginning. All right, can everybody
Well, I
see
think
my
we're seeing your other screen.
other screen? Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
All right, let's see here. Let's stop sharing. And then let me share here. All right, that works.
We have a PowerPoint.
Okay, that's good. Let me just do a quick swaparoo here real quick. Okay. So you guys can just see my slideshow screen, right? Not my notes
Yes.
sheet. Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
All right. So as Megan mentioned, my name is Allison Crow. I work at Johnson & Johnson Innovative Medicine in Athens, Georgia today. And let me kind of go over what I plan to cover. So I'm going to speak a little bit about who I am briefly. I'm going to talk a little bit about who Johnson & Johnson Innovative Medicine is. And then I'm going to cover what we specifically do here in Athens, Georgia. And then I'll cover employment in Athens, what positions we have open that are for degreed, what positions we have open that are not for degree, and how can we potentially prepare our students for those future career paths. And then we'll end it with a Q&A. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So a little bit about me. I am first and foremost a mother. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter who's going through terrible twos. So when I'm not working, that's what I'm doing with my spare time. I am a chemical engineer by background. I graduated from Georgia Tech in 2012, and I live currently here in Athens, Georgia. However, throughout my career, I've always done pharmaceuticals, but I've done a variety of careers with Eli Lilly, who's also a pharma company. I did process engineering with them, as well as their animal health division, which was Elanco. And when I worked at Elanco, that was a huge bioprocessing facility where we made the growth hormone for cows to help them produce more milk. And so that was a very unique position. I've worked at Bering Gringelheim, where I worked as a validation engineer. And then through kind of just the way careers go, I ended up at Johnson & Johnson about 5 years ago as their manufacturing reliability engineer, where I worked and helped equipment work reliably. And I did that for about 4.5 years. And then the opportunity to become a operations manager that helps with our training program came open. And so that's where I've been ever since. So kind of have a variety of experiences more in the operations engineering area. But I've certainly been exposed to a lot of career paths that are available here for both our degreed and non-degreed individuals. So starting about Johnson & Johnson, we are guided by our credo, and that is kind of it's our motto. It is our North Star, so to speak. And so truly, when you work at Johnson & Johnson, our first responsibility is to patients, doctors, nurses, moms, dads, and everybody who uses our products and services. And so you'll see that the credo is about 4 paragraphs, and it goes through our different beliefs and things that we kind of use as our guiding light to ensure that we are doing the best thing for our customers. And so it's one thing that I truly take pride in working here. A big part of our credo is giving back to our community. And so I'm happy to have this opportunity to really show to you what Johnson & Johnson does and help us potentially get some future career or future employees from your students. So We are quite large, so we have 47,000 employees worldwide. Over 13,000 of those are scientists and researchers. We have 13 internal manufacturing sites. The one in Athens, Georgia is Johnson & Johnson's only small molecule active pharmaceutical ingredient, but Johnson & Johnson also has bioprocess facilities as well. And we're building one in North Carolina, and there's also one up in I believe it's Pennsylvania. So, but in the small molecule world, we are the only one here in Athens. So quite unique. So this next video, I'm hoping, oh wait, no, I have another one. So these are just to give you an idea of the products that we make. So some of these you may have heard of before. Some of them you might not know about, but the big ones that we make here in Athens are Aerolita, which is apalutamide, and that helps patients with prostate cancer. And then Spravato is another one that is a nasal spray to help people with depression. So these are, two of J&J's kind of top products that we make here right in Athens. So with that, I've got a 6-minute video to play, and I'm hoping it shares the sound. And if you don't hear sound, let me know, and I will figure out what we need to do to get that fixed. But I did share the audio, I think, maybe. Hold on. Actually, I think because I have the, give me 1 second. I think I'm going to need to do a new share. I don't think I shared the audio.
We had to do that reshare. Video, but no picture.
Welcome to the Johnson & Johnson campus in Athens, Georgia. We are Janssen Pharmaceuticals, one of 4 active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturing sites that make up the API small molecule cluster. We share this beautiful 97-acre campus with our Johnson & Johnson partner, Ethicon.
It's still just the
At
sound.
Janssen, our mission is to deliver
Maybe. I saw it for a second.
All right, I'm going to try one more time. And I tell you what,
active pharmaceutical. We are Janssen Pharmaceuticals, one of 4 active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturing sites that make up the API small molecule cluster. We share this beautiful 97-acre campus with our Johnson & Johnson partner, Ethicon. At Janssen, our mission is to deliver active pharmaceutical ingredients and medical device components for the important value chains of small molecule API, wound closure, and biosurgery within the Janssen.
It
was
paused.
it okay, so it is
Yeah,
working.
it was on. We could see the
Oh,
video and everything. Yes.
Perfect.
It was
Okay,
perfect.
sorry. It won't let me speak, so I don't get any feedback. All right, let me just share again, and I will. Yeah, if you guys don't talk to me, I will assume it's good. All right.
Oh, all that noise, that's probably me. Oh, no problem. But ladies, we want y'all to
and Johnson & Johnson supply chains. The Janssen Pharmaceuticals business unit has been in Athens since 1980. This tenure is highlighted by our relentless passion to live our Johnson & Johnson Credo values by supplying safe and quality products to our healthcare providers and patients. Dedication to our employees, their families, and our community, and managing our business in a manner that fosters innovation, strives for continuous improvement, and invests in our facilities while being conscious to provide a fair return to our shareholders. Our bulk API facilities on campus, plants 1 and 8, operate 7 days per week, 24 hours per day. Plants 1 and 8 have a combined 58 cubic meters of reactor capacity, with isolation, dynamic drying, and powder handling capabilities. The reactors range from 4,000 liters to 6,000 liters in glass-lined stainless steel and Hastelloy materials of construction. Plant 8 is fully automated, recipe-controlled, and equipped from an industrial hygiene standpoint to safely produce PBOEL-3B intermediates and APIs. Plants 1 and 8 contain the necessary security controls and monitoring equipment to produce and store controlled substances as classified by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. This core competency contributes to Janssen Athens being a strategic and important Tier 1 manufacturing facility. Janssen Athens manufactures monomer intermediates for our J&J Ethicon partner for the wound closure value chain. Glycolide is produced in our API manufacturing plants and is the key starting component to produce absorbable sutures. A new monomer train was installed in Plant 1 in 2019 with dual capability to produce PDO monomer and glycolide for Ethicon. Regulatory approval to produce glycolide in the new train was obtained in the first quarter of 2021, and PDO approval is anticipated soon. This approval essentially doubles the output capacity for glycolide from Athens. The Janssen Athens small molecule API product portfolio includes intermediate and active ingredients for Janssen branded products, including Topamax, Concerta, Jernista, and the recently launched growth products Spravato and Erlita. Janssen also manufactures oxidized regenerated cellulose, or ORC, in our Plant 7 for the Ethicon biosurgery business. We are the only raw material manufacturer of ORC for Ethicon. ORC is an oxidized rayon fabric that can be bioabsorbed by the human body. The ORC process in Janssen Athens is an essential step in the production of a Class 3 medical device under the Ethicon label for the following products: Surgicel, Surgicel Nunit, Interseed, and Surgicel Nonwoven, or SNOW. ORC manufacturing consists of chemical processes, careful handling, and quality testing to ensure our products meet the highest quality standards. ORC products are shipped to J&J Ethicon finishing sites in Switzerland and Puerto Rico to complete the finished goods processing. Our proximity to a major research university and to the busiest airport in the world enables innovative collaborations and the ability to ship our products quickly and easily around the globe. Our facilities contribute intermediate and active ingredients to some of the most innovative and effective healthcare products in the world. We take great pride in serving as a vital link in their end-to-end supply chains. The performance of Janssen Athens is one of excellence. We are proud of our world-class achievements in the areas of environmental health and safety, quality, and compliance. We maintain excellent relationships with internal and external regulatory partners, including the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the Drug Enforcement Administration. The result of our most recent internal regulatory audit was the highest attainable within J&J. Results such as these cannot be accomplished without the passion and dedication of our highly trained and talented workforce. Consisting of approximately 170 full-time employees and contract partners who come to work every day with the commitment to put our many and diverse customers around the world at the center of everything they do. Our goal is to be part of the best supply chain in the world, and we challenge ourselves each day to deliver innovative solutions that enable healthy outcomes for our patients as well as a competitive advantage for Janssen. At Janssen Athens, we're striving to create a future where disease is a thing of the past.
Okay, let me try and share my screen again. So that hopefully gives you a little bit of information about the site. Okay. Can everybody, is it look okay? Everybody can see it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as what was mentioned in the video, these are examples of products that we make here. So Erlita, which is apalutamide for prostate cancer. We make Concerta, which is for ADHD, Topamax for seizures. And then we also make a polymer for basically sutures, which are pictured here. And then the oxidized regenerative cellulose that you saw, those rolls of fabric get converted into additional products for absorbable hemostats. So we do a lot at our site. It's small, but we certainly manufacture a lot. And I should mention the video that you all watched, it was before we had a kind of a branding change. So it mentions Janssen. That was kind of our old name. Our new name is Johnson & Johnson Innovative Medicine. But we've certainly expanded. The video said we had about 145 full-time employees. We're actually up to 220 now. So we certainly have a lot of openings and are looking to fill. So at our site, we have a lot of non-degreed positions. So you can apply to these positions if you have a degree or you don't necessarily need one. So these degrees, these positions include things like chemical operators. So these are the individuals that help us put raw materials into tanks and help basically make the chemistry happen. They help with documenting basically anything that happens during a batch. They're responsible. They're kind of our eyes and ears out on the floor if anything goes wrong. They are the heart of our organization. We also have maintenance technicians. So these are individuals that help make sure that the equipment that we use to make our medicine works right. They are a critical part to ensuring that, you know, as we make our medicines, if anything goes wrong with the equipment, they're there to come and help us and make sure that we can get back on track for our customers. And then we also have warehouse operators. So as I mentioned, we make a lot of products. So we have a lot of raw materials. And so the warehouse helps us with staging materials and making sure that we have what we need. And they also are vital into making sure that our inventory system, you know, what we have is actually what's documented in the inventory system. So there are a lot of opportunities to work here. If getting a degree isn't necessarily, you know, a student's choice of pathway. We also have degree required positions. So things like we have process engineers. So process engineers, their job is to basically take a particular process and own it. So they know all the chemistry behind it. They're in charge of helping us develop process improvements. So maybe we can get more medicine using the same process, or maybe there is a change where we can save cycle time if we use different vessels. There are equipment engineers. So these are engineers that help size equipment, help us basically get new equipment as we need it for new products. And then we have project engineers, and those are engineers that help manage large projects. So, you know, if you kind of think of, I don't want to like, it's probably not party planner is probably not the best word for a project engineer, but a project engineer is somebody who has a very large project and they have a budget and they need to coordinate all the parts and pieces to make sure that that project gets executed. We also have positions, and this is certainly not an all-inclusive list. We have items or positions like a maintenance planner. So this is an individual who helps us plan our maintenance. So we have a lot of what we call assets, that's the equipment. So we have thousands of pieces of equipment that require preventative maintenance. And so the maintenance planner helps work with operations to determine in the periods of time when operations isn't using the equipment, they're planning what maintenance we can be done. And then also when the plant shuts down for a month, they're also in charge of coordinating that shutdown. We have production planners, and production planners also would require a 2-year associate's degree. These individuals help us plan what medicines are we going to make, what makes sense to make in one building, what makes sense to make in another building. They help coordinate, make sure that we get all the raw materials that we need for those medicines. So there is a lot of planning that goes on at our site. And then we also have quality control technicians. So this is typically a 4-year degree requirement, although 2 would be okay too. And these are the individuals that test our medicines to make sure that the specifications that are required, that they pass. So this might be, they might run UHPLC, there might be a visual appearance test, there might be a particle size test. There's all sorts of different assays that we run to make sure that our product does what we expect it to do. And so, so there's a lot of different opportunities at our site for both people that are looking to pursue degrees and for people that aren't looking to pursue degrees. Johnson & Johnson also has a program where they will help pay for your degree. So if you come in without a degree and you want to also pursue a degree while working, they will help you pay for that. So there's definitely a lot of options here. So, if we're thinking about the future and what exactly we look for, and these really apply to any, whether it's degreed, non-degreed, we look for people that have a desire to learn, that curiosity, the asking the why do we do this? We're looking for people that can really follow directions. So we are in a regulated industry. So, a lot of biotech is regulatory regulated. So we have to follow directions in our manufacturing batch record. We can't skip around steps. We have to do what our procedure says. We do have regulatory agencies come in and audit us all the time to be sure that we are doing what we say that we are going to do in the documents. Previous experience is always good in a regulated environment. However, I know that when you're in high school or in middle school, and you're looking for that first job, that one can be kind of tough. And I'll kind of go through what I think teachers can do to kind of help with that. Relatable coursework. So this is kind of a, one that can be a little bit of challenging, but I'll go through some unit operations and upcoming slides that I think we can kind of help teach our students the connection between basic concepts and where we can see concepts like this in the workplace. Apprenticeships are always a good thing. So, especially when you're looking into those those maintenance positions, we really like to find people that have done apprenticeships, maybe as an electrician or other fields like that. So, that's good too. And then accountability is a good one too. Somebody who's going to be accountable, that, when you're scheduled to come to work, you come to work. That seems like a very basic thing, but it's very important. We are a manufacturing facility and we schedule people to work, and we have to have those people so that we can make our production plan. So accountability is important. And then flexible schedule. As what was said in the video, we do work our facility is a 24/7 facility. We do try to be closed for certain holidays, but it's not always a guarantee. So kind of having that ability, to come in on overtime if you need to, it doesn't happen a whole lot, but that, understanding that when you work in manufacturing and it's a 24/7 facility, there is going to be the need for the occasional flexibleness in your schedule. So what can we do to help students? So the first thing is that I think is one thing we can kind of help students with, and this really would help with any type of job, is really interview preparation. So I think helping students understand the importance of preparing for an interview, doing the research on the company and the job, even if it's as simple job as getting a job as a cashier at the McDonald's or somewhere like that. Preparing for the interview to show that you're prepared, you're serious, That's one thing we really look for. How serious or committed does this individual seem to be to the position? And then having them have specific examples prepared for the interview. So using that STAR format, what was the situation? What was the task at hand? What actions did you take? What results? Having good interview skills is never going to hurt somebody. And I think that's something that we could really start working with students. When we talk about career development, you don't get that first job if you can't get through the interview. So I think that's one that definitely we can work with. I think exposing students to GMP guidelines is also critical. So, this is where I said that, experience in the regulatory environment is nice, but also very difficult when you're coming straight out of college or straight out of high school and you don't have that. So I think as teachers, what you could do when you're, doing these career type activities, we can expose students to what it's like to work in a GMP, which is a good manufacturing practices environment. So for example, when we document work here, if you make a mistake, we can't just cross it out and move on. We have to cross it out and then it basically put this, you can see in the, you can see we put like a little one, oops. Let's see. So you can see we've got like a little 1 here. So you're documenting, hey, I made a mistake. There's a 1. And then this 1 explains why I made the mistake. And then I have to initial and date it. So incorporating things like that into, when students are working on labs or things like that, that's a really good, getting students exposed to, this is what good documentation practices look like in these type of jobs. Following batch records. So, when we execute our processes, there's batch records and you have to document things appropriately and you have to document them in a legible way. They need to be captured at the exact time that you did the work. You can't do the work today and then document it tomorrow. That's where you'll hear this term in pharmaceuticals called Alcoa Plus. It's basically giving the guidance for good manufacturing practices documentation. So contemporaneous, getting it done, documenting the time that you did it. Original, so that means that, if, for example, you document something in the batch record and maybe you spilled water all over the piece of paper, you can't go reprint a piece of paper. That's the original piece that you started with, so you have to keep it. And then accurate, making sure that you document things accurately. So I think these are things that you could definitely incorporate into your labs that you do if there's any documentation or things that students can do. A simple, if you like Google Alcoa Plus, this is a big one. Students being able to kind of speak to that is huge, especially at their stage in career development. And then basic unit operation concepts. So, a lot of times we talk about at our site in particular, we have separations process called centrifuging. So that's this thing here. And the way I explain that to people is it's basically a washer. I mean, you put your clothes in it, which in our case is our product. We wash it. You wash your clothes with detergent. We wash our product with solvent, and you spin it to get all the liquid off. And that's exactly what we do in the centrifuge. I explained that the Instapot is very much like a reactor. You've got a heating source. You've got the ability to control pressure. And so there's a lot of concepts here, that you can basically take real life principles and apply them to unit operations that are in the field that can help simplify those terms and honestly make them seem a little less intimidating. And so I think those are also a good thing. Connecting basic math and chemistry to industry. So as I mentioned, I help run the training program here for operators. And one thing, and this is a picture from our class, one thing we work to make sure everybody's familiar with is percent. So understanding how you do a percentage, what is a percentage and where we use it. So specifically here, we use percentages a lot in our yield calculations. So what did you get? How much product did you make versus what did you expect to make? Our operators help us do those calculations. We also do a lot of volume and mass percent. And so we do a lot of examples in our training courses with like oil, corn syrup, water, to kind of show the differences. Even though a mixture may be even from a volume perspective, the amount of mass that went into it is different because of density. So, kind of correlating those concepts, I think, is really important. And then we kind of draw, where we use volume and mass percent in industry. And then we also teach, the raw materials when you're trying to teach an operator why it's so critical to add the amount that they're told to. And we talk about the chemical reactions that we're doing. There's a moles relationship, and, kind of helping them make that connection that the chemistry can't happen if you don't add all of the raw ingredients. And so, we always kind of take basic concepts and apply them to what is the operator really going to see out in the field. And then the last one is get industry to speak to you. I realize that, and I know I'm fairly close over time, so I apologize. But it really benefits us in industry to come and speak to teachers, because it helps us kind of help inspire that next generation, almost future-proofing our industry so that we have the next group of individuals that are ready to come on. So I think you will find that it's pretty easy to get industry to come and speak to you if you reach out to them. So, especially the ones that are in your area that students potentially would be interested in working in. So I highly encourage that. And then I guess with that, are there any questions?
Can they reach out to you about speaking?
Yes, I have.
There's your email.
There's my email. If you would be interested, and yeah, we can certainly arrange things. I'm happy to help. I can get a little bit more versed in Zoom. Clearly, I'm a little bit challenged, but no, we'd be happy. And we have a lot of people at our site, that depending on what you're teaching your students, it might be more interesting to have somebody from our quality control lab speak with you. We're certainly available to help you.
Okay, so I have a question. Oh wait, hold on, let me see. Wait, trying to figure. Okay. There we go. Hi. All right. I know everything is super sanitized and needs to remain sterile. Are there any parts of the campus that are open for like visiting, or did I miss that part?
So the problem with ours is that you have to be 18 or older to come on our facility.
Got it.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. Unfortunately, we are a DEA, which is Drug Enforcement Agency regulated site. So we do have very strict requirements for age, only because we do make restricted compounds.
Okay.
So unfortunately, now, I mean, we can certainly have, videos and things that we can share virtually, but our site specifically, we wouldn't be able to.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we do have some questions in the chat, which maybe is just a more general question for us. But basically, can anybody there speak to the students, and then how to reach out to connect with industry? I can take that one. So contact me and we will try to get you in touch. If there's a group that you are looking at specifically, my boss, Maria, knows everybody in life sciences, and she will help connect. We are working on building out a platform to be able to do that as well. So people like Allison could put themselves in there and then you guys could request them. So we are looking for a funding source to be able to do that. But you guys are welcome to reach out to Allison. And it sounds like if you have something specific, you could say like, hey, can you connect me with somebody who does X? And she will help with that. Yeah, science career days. Yep. And some schools do that already. The Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy, I know we've done one there where they it's with the Kites Festival. So they basically have people set up in rooms and then the students rotate through all the career speakers throughout the day. but we're happy to help advise on that as well. So are there any more questions for Allison? Not right away, but you guys have her email. All right. So thank you so much, Allison. That was really informative. And I liked the video, which shows a lot of, what you could expect day to day, even just the PPE aspect, because I don't think a lot of students understand you have to be gowned up all day. And if you want to leave, you have to ungown. So
Yep.
it's a whole process. So yeah.
Well,
Well,
you
thank you,
guys,
Allison.
and please feel free to reach out. Happy to help.
Yeah. Have a great day. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye, everyone.
All right. I will go back to sharing my screen. Do a whole screen. How about that? I promise I cleaned it up. So it's been worse. All right. Pop you guys back where I can see you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we will go into some of the virtual labs together, and then we will go into the breakout rooms to do your actual hands-on labs today. So first off, some of you already sent me your lab safety lab. Thank you. So we will make sure that we record that. That is one of your deliverables today. And this is in your binder. So you guys got paper copies of everything, as well as I will make sure everything is in the Google Drive so that you can go back and access it digitally. But if you have not already, please go ahead and click on this link and go to the lab safety activity. And I will open it right here. And so some of you already emailed it to me. I got smart and made a new Gmail. So that I don't lose anybody's in my email. So it is biotechinfusion@gmail.com. Oh man, yeah, some of the boxes didn't get delivered until today. I've heard from a couple people that when they asked where it was, I said it was delivered last week and maybe the school just didn't get it to you guys yet. So apologies for any of the delay in getting your materials. And if that's the case, just follow along with us today as much as you can and then complete the lab once you get your supplies set up. So, can you guys see the activity on my screen? And then hopefully you're having no trouble accessing it as well. Links in the chat. So we just click on it. It brings up sound. You guys don't have my sound, but you enter your name at the bottom. And then when it gets to the end, it will, they have added a lot of animations to this. So you can go through the videos, and then when you get to the end, it will pop up a little completion screen. Just do a screenshot of that. If you have to take a picture with your phone and then send it to me, that's fine too. But you can screenshot it, just paste it in an email, and then email it to biotechinfusion@gmail.com. So I will stop sharing for now and let you guys walk through that on your own for a few minutes. If anybody has questions, you can feel free to unmute. But we'll just have everybody take a moment to complete that.
You want us to do it now, ma'am?
What's that?
Do you want us to do it now?
Yeah, you can do it now. So we'll take a few minutes so that you can do that. And then we have the collection here of people that we can ask if you have questions. That is a lot more video than it was just last year. It used to be just you open the lab and you go in and it asks you specific things about what's in the lab. So hopefully he gets there after he's done talking. Thanks, Trisha. Have they made this a lot longer?
have younger
All right.
children, you can put this up on your screen and it can be interactive and the kids have to go touch stuff.
Well, there you go.
Can we do this later, ma'am?
Yeah, so at this point, if you guys are not done with it, just
Yes. Let
mute
me take
him
time. Yes.
and yeah,
Thank you.
you can come back to it. Just make sure that we do please get that end little certificate.
Yes. We'll do it.
So yeah, we will go ahead and wrap up on that and move on. And copy. Okay, the second thing I wanted to show you guys is a pipetting virtual lab. I made a tiny URL for it because it was way too long. But this goes to Lab Exchange. And if you are not familiar with Lab Exchange, there are many different simulations on there for many different things. So you could spend all day on there. But we like this micropipetting simulation. It walks them through how to use a micropipette, what the dial looks like, which you guys will walk through today with your actual micropipette. But this is an option if you want to give them kind of a pre-activity before they get into the classroom using the micropipettes. They are pretty expensive, and so we try not to break them. So this can cut down on some of that as well. You guys have received a 2 to 20 microliter mini PCR micropipette. They are about $59 on their website. If you wish to purchase from Mini PCR, I will give you guys a sheet later, but you can email them and let them know that you have done our workshop and you are interested in purchasing, and you can get a 7% discount, which usually knocks off at least shipping from your order. They also sell fixed volume micropipettes, which is a really good option for our middle schoolers. Yeah, Cynthia's nodding over there. So basically they have a 4 microliter and they have a 10 microliter. They might have other ones, but the 10 works great with the pipetting lab that you guys are going to do with the Petri dishes, because you only need a pipette 10 microliters for every single dot. So those are much less likely to break, a little more foolproof. So you guys can use this pipetting activity as you see fit. I'll make a link in your Google Drive and I will put that in there as well. So all the links that we share, I'll end up putting in the Google Drive for you guys. So let's see, go back to slideshow. And we will take a moment. We are going to move toward our breakout rooms with our 2 master instructors. So I wanted to take a moment to have them introduce themselves. And I know Trisha, oh, I see you're live again. Okay, great. So Trisha and Cynthia are both set up to do split camera today. So there's a little them in the corner and then you can see their workstation. So you should be able to see what they're doing as they do it. So I will let Trisha introduce herself and then I'll let Cynthia introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Trisha Peterson. This is my 21st year of teaching. I've only taught at high school, but I've co-taught biology, co-taught environmental, physical science, and I'm now currently teaching in our school's academy. So I have the AP Bio, AP Environmental, and the biotechnology pathway classes. So the essentials and applications courses.
Thanks, Trisha. Cynthia?
Sorry, it was Spirit Day today. It was super duos, so we were all minions, but that's another story. I'm just too lazy to change and it feels nice. So I'm in my 26th year of teaching. I taught high school for 24 of my 26, and I've recently moved on to a middle school. I've taught biology at all levels, environmental science at all levels, including biotechnology pathway. And now I teach earth science to a bunch of squirmy sixth graders. So, and I'm also like the STEAM coordinator for the sixth grade. So I do a lot.
Doing all the things. Thank you. So they are both current teachers. They are still in your boat, and they are here to support. I am not teaching anymore, but I am also here all day to support, available via text whenever you need it. So you guys will have a great time with them, and we are all here to support you. So we are going to do some breakout rooms. I am going to make 2 breakout rooms real quick that you can choose to put yourselves in, but we can help put you in them if you cannot get there. So our first room is Trisha, and then our second room is Cynthia. And I have put up a list. I put you guys in there. I tried to put people together that were at the same school. No hard feelings about either. They are both the most amazing people. So I didn't do anything intentionally to slight anyone or anything like that. But hopefully you will have a great experience in your room. So we do ask that you go ahead and join your breakout room, or shout out if you need help getting to your breakout room. And then we will all be moving in there. I will be going into Trisha's room, and Kennedy will be going with Cynthia. And we will record your breakout rooms as well.